Three, two, go.
Hi there, I'm Jenny Bull. I work for Public Health in Luton and also I'm a member of the Bedfordshire Domestic Abuse Partnership.
So what's happening?
So
How did
today,
this all start? If you
so
want
today
to,
this is, we're in the middle of a campaign, a national campaign called 16 Days of Action to End Gender-Based Violence, which is a campaign to end domestic abuse, violence against women and girls. It's an international campaign, and it runs every year from the 25th of November to the 10th of December. And what we've been doing for the last 4 years is gathering in Luton and in other places across Bedfordshire to read out the names of all the women and girls who've been murdered by male violence in the last 12 months. So today was our Too Many Names event in Luton. So we stood in the point and we read out with our supporters who are they might be professionals, they might be passer-bys, they might be policemen, might be social workers, might be support workers, teachers. Anybody is welcome to join us and help us read and honour the names of the women and the girls who've been murdered by male violence in the last 12 months. And it's a really powerful and impactful event.
how was the outcome of today's outcome? How do you?
It was lovely. We had lots of supporters. We also worked alongside a couple of our partner agencies. So Women's Aid in Luton and Bedfordshire University put together a fashion like a fashion and art display. So they showed the pictures, the photographs of some of the dead women and girls who'd lost their lives, and they combined that with some recycled fashion that they designed. And that display is also in Luton Point, at the little end of Luton Point, and it's there till the 5th of December if anybody wants to go along and have a look. So we've kind of been littering the town, I suppose, really, with 16 days of action stuff. So yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a good day, and I think it certainly means a lot to me that people turn up. It means a lot to the partners that people turn up to support us. So yeah, it's a sad reason to get together, but I think it helped to raise awareness. We had lots of people looking with interest at what we were doing.
What next?
What next? Well, 16 days isn't over until the 10th of December. So we've got a couple of other things that are happening. We're actually working on our Luton domestic abuse strategy at the moment. So we are trying to engage with survivors, encouraging people to come forward and tell us what they think we should be doing to support them. So we're working with lots of different survivor groups to try and gather their advice, their opinions as to what we need to be doing to support them, to keep them safe from harm. And we're also designing all kinds of campaigns to work with schools, to talk to young men about pornography and healthy relationships. Talk to everybody about healthy relationships, to be fair, because it's not young men, it's not old men, it's absolutely everybody. Anybody can be a victim of domestic abuse. Anybody with a pulse can be a victim. It happens to you no matter what your background is, no matter what your faith, your religion, your culture, your status, your age, colour, gender, sexuality. It doesn't matter. Domestic abuse is no kind of respecter of anything. So you have a controlling personality, and they decide to make themselves feel better about themselves, to make themselves feel powerful, to make themselves feel like they're in control of what's happening. They will turn their control on their family members, their loved ones, their partners, etc., their children, and they will try to control them. They'll manipulate them, they'll lie to them, they'll restrict them, they'll monitor them. And they cause devastating misery in relationships or in families. And if it's left unchallenged, and if we don't empower victims to move on, to escape, to leave a relationship, if we don't challenge the perpetrators, the controllers, then we risk something like the reason we gathered today. Somebody will lose their lives, basically.
So if there's someone who wants to get into contact, how do
We've got such a strong partnership across Bedfordshire. I would urge anybody who believes that they are affected by any form of kind of unhealthy or toxic or harmful
how do
or
they get in
abusive
touch?
relationship to go and have a look at a website, which is the Bedfordshire Domestic Abuse Partnership website. It's at www.bedsdv.org.uk, or just Google domestic abuse in Luton or domestic abuse in Bedfordshire, and it will take you to a website that will have lots of information on there to help you. But we're so lucky in Bedfordshire, we have a lovely partnership of really enthusiastic and passionate people who can provide support to anybody at whatever stage of a relationship, at whatever stage of their life they are at. Because there really is, we want everybody to live a life free of abuse, free of fear, free of violence. And it is all too common at the moment, you know. If you we share experiences of people who sadly lost their lives, and it sounds like we're recounting an EastEnders kind of story or something, but no, it's happened in real life.
Oops.
It's absolutely happened in real life, and it's happened to somebody that perhaps we knew, or that we saw in town one day, or that went to our church, or that went to our school, or was a neighbour, was a friend. It's 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 men. 1 in 5 adults, 1 in 5 children are affected by domestic abuse in their lifetime.
So my last question would seem to be, is there any support for abusers?
There is support for abusers, because one of the things we do realise as a partnership is that we're never going to resolve the issues of domestic abuse without challenging and changing the behaviours of the abusers. So there are services and support that will work alongside people who, find themselves in that situation where they are trying to control, they are harming somebody else, a partner, an ex-partner, family member, whatever. There is support for them as well to change their behaviour, but they have to want to do it, and that's one of the problems, because controllers, perpetrators, whatever you want to call them, they are getting their needs fulfilled by the abuse that they are carrying out. They're made to feel powerful and in charge, and somebody's scared of me, that makes me feel bigger and stronger than them. So they're kind of getting their needs fulfilled. So the thought of giving that up is probably a really difficult thing. And most perpetrators don't accept that they're perpetrators. They don't think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. So why should they change? They think they're right, but they're not, I'm afraid. Because it doesn't really matter what's happened to you, whether it was in your early life or at school or bullied or, in a relationship, whatever it is, that doesn't give you the excuse to pass that abuse onto somebody else, to pass that pain and suffering and that trauma onto somebody else, especially not somebody that you are meant to love and want to keep safe. So, there is support. There is basically support for everybody affected by domestic abuse. And it really does affect, it doesn't matter who you are or where you are, you will be affected by. Everybody knows somebody. If they've not experienced it themselves, they will know somebody who has experienced it, or they will know somebody who is going to experience it in the future. We all know somebody.
Thank you.
And it is really everybody's business to tackle it. So, because it takes a village, and we are the village, so we got to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.